Lagos, Nigeria. Of course, you're tuned in to Cleaning Edge. When you hear that song, you know it's time for us to talk cleanliness and how best to, take care of our environment in order to achieve a sustainable environment, a clean, not just sustainable, a clean and sustainable environment for each and every one of us to live in. Cleaning Edge is your weekly guide into the world of waste management, and the show is powered by the Lagos Waste Management Authority, LOMA, brought to you by Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. My name is Mike James, your guide on this journey towards a cleaner, healthier and sustainable Lagos. And over the next 30 or 25 minutes, that we're out, cleaning Lagos. Yes, just to, keep you abreast of what we're doing, letting you know that, we're actually doing it. We're keeping Lagos clean. Loma is not resting on its oars, when it comes to enforcement, no matter what we do, sensitizing you, practical ways on how you can keep your environment clean and sustainable. Like we always say, waste management is not just for it's a collective effort, so each and every one has a role to play, in waste management, especially in a city like Lagos. So Loma has come out to say that there's an enforcement team which has been assigned to, ensure that you imbibe the culture of proper waste management practices. We also have the enforcement team saddled with the responsibility of, carrying out something. We'll be delving into the conversation shortly, but first, I'd like us to go on a break. We'll take a message from our partners, LOMA, which is the Lagos Waste Management Authority, and when we return, we shall begin the conversation. Stay here.
Stop it! Yes, you don't do it. Indiscriminate dumping of refuse into drainage channels is prohibited in Lagos State. It has to stop. Henceforth, it's zero tolerance for building or erecting structures on drainages, setbacks, and alignments in Lagos State. Government is doing its best to make our environment clean and safe. As responsible citizens, we too should play our part to sustain it. Dumping of refuse into drainages, canals, or gutters destroys our roads and causes flooding in some areas and poses great dangers to lives and damage to our public structures. Desist from disposing refuse into drainage channels and canals. It's damaging to the image of Lagos State. Remember, there are laws and regulations guiding the disposal of waste in Lagos State. Offenders will be prosecuted according to the law. Do the right thing. Use refuse bins, not canals, gutters, or drains. Dispose waste responsibly. Protect our drainage system. Contribute to a safer environment for us all. Ibega Ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, Àjùmọ̀ṣe Office of Drainage Services, announcer.
If you ask me what a team of heroes look like, I'd say people committed to creating a clean and beautiful state. After all, what's there to love about living in a dirty and harmful environment? That's why at Loma, we built an exceptional team with people like the fearless Binga who picks up waste from your house and streets, the swift Musa who navigates all waste to the landfills, Iya Dupe, the super cleaner who saves our roads from litters, and of course, our magical recycler, Atinuke, who converts waste to wealth. Everyone at Loma is committed to keeping Lagos clean in every way for a safer and healthier Lagos. Loma, a league of heroes. Keep Lagos clean.
I need you. You need me. Together we can make Lagos clean. Make sure you throw away your dirt properly, not inside canals, to avoid flooding on our roads when it rains. Lagos Traffic Radio say keep Lagos clean, moving Lagos forward.
Back to the show. This is Cleaning Edge here on Lagos. It's a very good morning, Odutano.
Yeah, well done. I just really want to ship this in for motorists around the Ikorodu who are coming from Kodron about to agree. There was an overnight impediment of a loaded 40-feet container that has that's occupied the whole of the lane. So the container has been taken. The trailer has been taken away from the road. It's only the container that. So now the crane is there now to take away the container, while our men said they are going to barricade the whole of the road for this process. So motorists are coming from Marunon. So as a matter of fact, there's traffic coming from the road about now towards Agric. So after the whole process, we get back to tell you where the road is open.
Okay.
So just for your information.
All right, then, Odetono, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, quick traffic report for you. Remember, earlier we recorded a broken down 40-feet container laden truck that at the Ikorodu roundabout in Water Creek. Yeah, so the news is that the truck itself has been evacuated, but we still have the container on ground. I think the container fell off the truck, yes. So effort is on to have it evacuated. So evacuation effort is ongoing. That corridor has been barricaded, have it in mind. But there's diversion for motorists coming from Arino towards Ishawo Road to link Antikeni. And from there, you can find your way to your destination. We have traffic managers on ground putting in extra efforts to ensure that you do not spend too much time out there. So patience is advised. Stick to your lane and drive cautiously. And don't forget to give other road users the right of way as well. It is very important. So let's delve into the Ebutera Kongbon corridor, where we recorded a truck that was involved in an accident on a co-bridge by Durao Lockline section inward Costin. The news is that it's off the road now. It has been evacuated, and from there I can confirm to you what's happening along the Lekki Peninsula corridor, where it's good movement in its entirety across the length and breadth of the zone, from the Lekki roundabout through the Peninsula Gate, Admiralty Way, UBA, Dome Church, Freedom Way, all the way down to Ikate. Good movement is what we have gathered. All right, so we'll continue to keep our eyes on the road for more news, even as we delve into interesting conversations moving around environmental sanitation and how best we can, make it sustainable and healthy for us to live in. On Cleaning Edge this morning. So I'll be, talking about the Loma enforcement strategy. And also I'll be sharing with you some tips on how you can stay away or avoid environmental infractions or getting caught and being punished. Yes, so we understand that over the years, Loma has expanded its reach across all 57 LGAs and LCDAs in Lagos, deploying over, 15,000 sweepers and hundreds of PSP operators, all in a bid to, to upscale its waste management strategy, from market cleanups to landfill management. We understand Loma is leading the charge in building a smart and sustainable Lagos. But the truth is, like we always say, waste management is a collective effort, and Loma can't do it alone. Now, the streets are cleaner when you play your part. Talking about you and I as individuals that live on these streets. You play your part, you ask, what part is that? What's my role in this? It's by properly bagging your waste, avoiding illegal dumping, and paying your waste bill. And most of all, patronizing your PSP operators. This simple, but yet people tend to, ignore this very easy aspect of waste management, which we are supposed to play, which is supposed to be our own role as tenement in Lagos. Now, Loma has come out to say, look, this is it now. Clean your surroundings or lose your property. And this strong warning is coming from the Loma boss himself. That's the agency's managing director, CEO, the person of Dr. Muyiwa Agbadegesin. Now, let's talk about what Loma has been up to lately. So we'll bring you a bit of news surrounding Loma's activities in recent days. So the Lagos Waste Management Authority, Loma, is taking a tougher stance on environmental sanitation across the state. And the agency's managing director and CEO, Dr. Muyiwa Agbadegesin, has issued a clear warning to property owners and tenants alike. Keeping your surroundings clean or risk enforcement actions, including possible loss of your property. It can go as far as that. Agbadegesin made it clear that environmental cleanliness is a shared responsibility, not just a government mandate. Whether you own the land or you're just a tenant living there, it's your responsibility to clean your environment. Loma cannot clean your frontage for you, he emphasized, end of quote. And he went further to state that any activity that causes illegal waste generation or dumping on land is prohibited. Even if you don't own the land, if you live in that building, the law expects you to clean your frontage, your drainage, and your environment. Loma cannot do that for you, end of quote. He also stressed that cleanliness is a legal obligation for every resident, whether you're a landlord or tenant. And according to him, anyone failing to uphold this responsibility risks sanctions that could extend to losing your property if it's consistently used in violation of environmental laws. So that's just a clear cut of what Loma is all about lately. So it's about you cleaning your environment, keeping it clean, not just the environment, even the streets that you live on. It's very important. So Loma has come out to say, look, we are enforcing these environmental laws now. We've done so much sensitizations on all media platforms, but hey, we still have the recalcitrant ones, and we're going after them. So, like I promised, I said I was going to be sharing with you some tips or some of the roles you need to play in order for you not to fall victim of the environmental laws or run foul of any of these environmental laws, which includes cleaning your surroundings, which includes you avoiding illegal dumping of waste, which includes you patronizing the rules you need to play as a tenement in Lagos.
Stop it! Yes, you don't do it. Indiscriminate dumping of refuse into drainage channels is prohibited in Lagos State. It has to stop. Henceforth, it's zero tolerance for building or erecting structures on drainages, setbacks, and alignments in Lagos State. Government is doing its best to make our environment clean and safe. As responsible citizens, we too should play our part to sustain it. Dumping of refuse into drainages, canals, or gutters destroys our roads and drainage systems, causes flooding in some areas, and poses great dangers to lives and damage to our public structures. Desist from disposing refuse into drainage channels and canals. It's damaging to the image of Lagos State. Remember, there are laws and regulations guiding the disposal of waste in Lagos State. Offenders will be prosecuted according to the law. Do the right thing. Use refuse bins, not canals, gutters, or drains. Dispose waste responsibly. Protect our drainage system. Contribute to a safer environment for us all. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, Àjùmọ̀ṣe Office of Drainage Services. Announcer.
If you ask me what a team of heroes look like, I would say people committed to creating a clean and beautiful state. After all, what's there to love about living in a dirty and harmful environment? That's why at Loma, we built an exceptional team with people like the fearless Binga who picks up waste from your house and streets, the Swift Musa who navigates all waste to the landfills, Iya Dupe, the super cleaner who saves our roads from litters, and of course, our magical recycler, Atinuke, who converts waste to wealth. Everyone at Loma is committed to keeping Lagos clean in every way for a safer and healthier Lagos. Loma, a league of heroes. Keep Lagos clean.
All right, Lagos, Nigeria, welcome back to Clean Edge here on Africa's first authentic traffic radio. This is Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Okay, so Clean Edge is a show But quick one, just to remind you about the situation along Ikorodu Road. That's from the roundabout towards Agric, where we are monitoring what's happening there, and recovery of a container that fell off its truck ongoing. So that corridor has been barricaded. But we have traffic managers diverting traffic through Ishawa Road to connect Anti-Kenny. So that's what's going on, just in case you're wondering why it's looking like traffic is quite busy, because I understand it's a busy one now from Ikorodu roundabout towards Ag Creek. Going evacuation efforts equally in progress, hence the barricaded corridor. Well, I'll be sending you more news once the road is open. Oduton will be connecting with us to, let you in on the latest. So, let's talk about your roles as a tenement in Lagos when it has to do with, waste management, in order for you not to, run foul of the environmental laws. Now, as a responsible Lagosian, you may be wondering, what exactly should I be doing to avoid fines, protect my environment, and, support a cleaner Lagos? These are the questions I understand you're asking yourself, but I'm here to share answers with you. So here's a step-by-step guide to smart and legal waste practices you can adopt starting today. Whether you're a tenant, a landlord, a shop owner, or even a student, it applies to every one of us, as long as we generate waste through our activities. Now, first off, you must own your own space. Whether you rent or buy, own your space. What does that mean? It means you taking responsibility of your space, your environment. And too often, some tenants will say, it's not my land now, it's the landlord's job. But Loma is clear. Since you live there, you are responsible for that vicinity. You're responsible for its cleanliness. Yes, it is your duty. So what must you do in this case? Ensure that you sweep your frontage and clear the drains. If you can do it every morning or twice a week, it's very important you do so. It's also your duty to, remove weeds and, stagnant water in order to avoid breeding mosquitoes. Assign household chores weekly, even in shared compounds. Like in some compounds where I've lived, we have some tenants who are responsible for, doing the cleanup on a weekly basis. Shared responsibility also helps. And you do not have to wait for Loma officials to come knocking before you carry out these responsibilities. So these are some responsibilities you need to have at the back of your hand. Now, disposing your waste the right way, not in the gutter, yes, is another responsibility you must put into practice. Now, drainages are meant for rainwater and not refuse. So, dumping waste into canals or gutters is illegal, and it's a very wrong practice, and Loma is watching you. Now, the effects of doing so include, blocking the flow of water, which of course will result into flooding when it rains. It also breeds diseases like cholera and typhoid, especially in areas where we have stagnant water owing to blocked drainages and canals. And this can also attract fines or even property seizure if your property, house, or surrounding causes repeated environmental damage. You could be fined or your property could be seized. It has gone as far as that. So that's why we're letting you in on some of the possible environmental infractions you may have been committing without knowing. But Loma is coming out to say, hey, your time has come. So we're coming after you and we'll get you. So instead, Loma is saying use Loma-approved waste bins to store your waste until the PSP operators arrive to cart it away. They're also advising that you bag your trash to avoid spillages. We've been, saying this repeatedly on this program. Loma is also advising that you set your waste outside only on designated PSP collection days, so it'll be easier for them. They don't have to come knocking or barging into your compound and yelling at you to bring out your waste. So these are your responsibilities in this stead. Waste sorting is something we've been talking about frequently on almost all editions. Recyclables, organics, and hazardous items. Of course, Lagos has grown into a recycling economy. And just to let you in on the good news, you're part of it. I'm part of it as well. So Loma is saying use color-coded bags and bins to segregate your waste. They're also advising that you keep wet waste, such as food scraps, in a separate bag. You can sort at home or even in your compound, and recyclers will collect it from you directly. All you need to do is to reach out to Loma so you can get the contacts for the recycling team. Most importantly, paying your PSP waste bill supports the entire system when it comes to waste management in Lagos. The PSP operators have been assigned to come and evacuate your waste, but there are financial commitments. So you need to consider the fact that this PSP operators need to stay in the business, hence financial commitments. So it is our duty to pay our PSP waste collectors PSP waste bill frequently, as at when due. Now, this PSP struggle to fill, truck maintenance, and they pay their workers' salaries. And it is the money that we pay, from the money we pay, that they use to, foot all these bills. So Loma is urging us to set aside whatever money we are making on a daily basis. Set aside your PSP waste bills in order to keep them in the business. Also remember that if you choose to dump your waste on unauthorized places or illegally, you could get caught. And when you're caught, there's stiffer penalties now. So we're telling you on this program, and Loma is also coming out on all other platforms just to sensitize, just to let you in on the latest. So you don't come out and say, hey, what have I done to deserve this? So what you should do is instead is for you to ensure that your household, your shops, or even your church pays Loma dues monthly. And it's very important that you request receipts from the PSP operators for transparency. If your PSP skips your area, report immediately via Loma hotlines, which I shall be dishing out towards the end of the program. And you can also be a watchdog for Loma. When you see something, say something. Loma is coming out to say, look, don't look away when you see something wrong, something being done wrong. Why don't you just take action? You could capture photos or videos of illegal waste dumpers. You can note the time, location, and nature of waste. Loma has several platforms at which you can connect with them, even on WhatsApp. So you could send it via Loma, to Loma via WhatsApp on 0708 060 1020, or you could tag at Loma_GOV on social media. And this matters so much because illegal dumpers don't just pollute your street or your environment, they put your property and health at risk. So these are part of the tips you need to have right on your palm. You take them along with you wherever you go, because Loma is coming out to say enough is enough. We need to comply with the environmental laws. There are laws guiding our existence. So why not you comply with the laws guiding your environment? Because it is in your own interest. So it's advisable for you to, cooperate with Loma. Waste management is not just the government's effort alone. We have our role to play, and part of those roles is what I have shared with you. Now, there are current enforcement measures Loma has come out with, and violators may face property sealing. It has gone as far as that, or even court summons, which would definitely result into fines being paid or community service. So let's not wait for that. It's high time we took responsibility today. Take responsibility of your environment, own your space, be part of the solution. Yes, Loma is urging us to be part of the solution. So this is where we're going to be, taking a pause on the show this week. Of course, we'll be talking more next week, Saturday. But let me remind you that you can always connect with Loma via the following platforms. Social media contacts include Facebook, that's loma.gov, Instagram, loma_gov. You can as well send an email to info@loma.gov.ng or reach out to Loma via WhatsApp on 0708 060 1020 or 080 000 Loma 080 000 Loma. So I must say a very big thank you and acknowledge the person of that's the Managing Director, CEO Loma, the person of Dr. Muyiwa Gbadigeshi, and not forgetting Mrs. Folashade Kadri, Director of Public Affairs for Loma, who has put this together. My name is Mike James. Clean Edge will come your way again next week, Saturday, at exactly 9:15, on behalf of my executive producer, Tayo Akonle, to have yourself a wonderful weekend and a great week ahead.
If you asked me what a team of heroes look like, I would say people committed to creating a clean and beautiful